So yesterday, my sister and I went to the Astroworld concert. So my sister and we agreed that we're gonna wait at the Travis Scott set. So we waited for approximately 3 hours or longer. We did have a good view. We were not near the stage, but we were at a good area. While we waited there on the set of Travis Scott, we met a lot of great people around us. We were not crowded yet as we were waiting, but we did notice the music was very weird. There was nobody else performing. Next to the Travis Scott set, there was another stage where SZA was performing. So a lot of people were there, but we did notice that as soon as that performance finished, we felt like a huge rush, like a big crowd just walking towards the stage of Travis, and we were like, no, like we've been waiting here for hours, you can't pass us by, like we want to see him. So as we're standing there with the crowd around us, out of nowhere we started to feel like we were kind of compressing our bodies together, and I remember one of the guys even saying, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to be this close to you, because we were literally like, you know, we were really compressed. And I didn't get worried. I was like, okay, I see what this is. You know, I think I can handle it. And then we noticed that there was a timer on the stage. I think it said like 30 minutes or something like that, countdown for Travis to come out and perform. So during that time, we just started to feel like we were getting tighter and tighter with the crowd. And it started to be to the point where we couldn't move. Like my shoulders literally kind of, you know, just felt compressed. And I'm only 5'4", so I felt like I was sinking, and everybody else around me was taller. So all the air around me felt really hot. Like I felt hot air above my head, and I just couldn't breathe. And then there was a point where I just naturally called it, it felt like a wave. Like I saw, and it was like slow motion, like a wave of people, like we just moved with the wave and like forcefully, and we had no control of it. And after that, like I noticed my sister was, you know, like right in front of me, and we gave each other like that look, like, holy, we need to get out now. If we don't get out, like we're not gonna live, like we're not gonna make it. Like this wave felt so intense, it freaked the living life out of me. Like it was so intense. I don't know how, but my sister and I were holding hands, and we were like, my arm was stretched out this long, and so was her arm. So I don't know how it happened, but I was just holding on to dear life. And she even told me that I had like this death stare in my face, like of panic, like, please get me out, I'm stuck, like if you don't get me out now, like I don't know. Like she even told me, like I felt like if I let go of you, like you were gonna be done, like that was it. So she did her best to hold on and tell the crowd, like, move. You know, she used her phone and her arm, you know, to like guide us and say, get the hell out, like move, help us, like we need to move. It's bad, it was so bad. Like she kept yelling, like, please, I'm trying to get out. It's so bad. Like, please help my sister. Like, we need to get out. Like, we can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm panicking. Like, we need to move. Like, please. And the sad part was that a lot of the guys, they were so compressed. They would just give us that look like, I'm so sorry. They would tell us actually verbally. They would say, I'm so sorry. I can't do nothing. But the most that they were able to do was yell. Like, let these girls out, let them out, move, let them out. So by them doing that, it definitely, I don't know how it happened with the guys and my sister. I was just like in shock. We were able to kind of push with our body weight, and literally I was pushing my sister as well as she, I don't know how she did it, but she got us out. And when we were out, we were just like trying to catch our breath. And like I remember I gave my sister that look like, I gotta get out of here. I never looked into a stranger's eyes and said, help me, please help me get out. Like, I don't want to die. Like, I can't breathe. Like, I just knew I had that feeling, like, get out now or you're done. Like, I've never felt that way. like death felt so near. Like it was so weird. Like that wave felt, it was just such a bad energy. Like I got bad vibe. My intuition said, get out, like hurry up, hurry up. I've never felt like a life decision, between life and death. If I stay, I knew I was gonna die. So when we were able to get out of the crowd, which felt like an eternity, like we took a deep breath. We were like looking at each other like, did we just experience something like that? Like, and this was during countdown. Travis Scott did not even come out yet. This was during countdown. And my sister said, we got to go now before he starts. We have to go now. So it felt like we were racing in time. We were trying to beat the time before that clock, finished. So it was like a race for our life. And even then, it felt so bad. So I can't even imagine how it was in there where we were at when Travis Scott came out. And to top it off, Drake came out later on. My sister and I said, it's bad in there. Like, it's not good. This is my first time attending one of Travis Scott's festivals. My sister and I, we had an idea of how bad it can get. And everybody around there, we all knew how bad this can get. But this was just really different. And the people that we met, we were really, really concerned about them. We were wondering, like, what happened to them. There was 2 sisters that we were talking to. They were, just really friendly. There was a few guys around us that we had full-on conversations while waiting for Travis Scott to perform. And I did get to talk to them yesterday and one of them today, and they just told me their experiences, and it's really sad what they had to go through. And they even said, you girls got out on time. If not, we would have not made it. So he said we were really lucky that we left. And he also said that in that area that we were at, he said that became a whole disaster. It felt like that was like the focal point because everybody wanted to get near the stage. So all the pressure was in that direction. Because on the left and on the right side actually of the stage, nobody was really compressing as much as the middle and the left. Because that's the entrance to Travis Scott's stage. After SZA performance finished, all the crowd started walking through there and compressing really, really bad. And after my sister and I were able to escape the crowd, we just stood there in disbelief, and we were just watching bodies left and right being pulled out or on the ground. People passed out. And a lot of people just had that fear in the look, like they couldn't believe that they made it out of the crowd. And a lot of people just came out really sweaty, like they got out of the sauna. They were drenched in sweat. Like I even touched one of the guys' shirts because I couldn't believe how wet they were. They said it was so hot in there, they couldn't get any fresh air. So I can't imagine, being compressed and having, no air. Like you're just so tight, your rib cage feels like you can't get that inhale breath, that you need. Another thing too that a lot of people were saying, they did not even notice Drake was performing. Got out during countdown, and that was bad. That was really, really bad. So I know that when Travis Scott came out, people couldn't get out. They could not get out. So they just had to endure it, just deal with it. Like when we got back to the hotel after the event, we were just in disbelief. We were in shock. We kept replaying what we saw in our heads. All the people, all the bodies, people performing CPR, the ambulance. We couldn't sleep. Even the next day, like yesterday, we were not in the mood to tour around Texas and eat. Like we felt this fear. We were just traumatized. And I can only imagine what the people are dealing with that did stay there during the performance of Travis Scott and then Drake. Like I was only there during the countdown, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. And people were so nice. They were actually very apologetic. They were saying, I'm so sorry, I can't do anything. I'm so sorry, I can't help you. I can't even help myself. It's like everybody was fighting for their life at that point. Just being compressed towards each other is so hard. Felt like you're suffocating alive. Like it was just bad. Like the next morning, we had family members and friends that knew that we were over here for the event to Texas. They were so worried and concerned. They called us and texted us and said if we were okay. Yeah, we said we're fine and we're thankful we survived it. But we're just so devastated by the people that didn't make it out. And not only that, the people that were actually injured as well. Because I know the intensity of how that felt. And if I couldn't endure it, and I can't imagine what they went through. Honestly, it messed with me. I don't think I want to attend any festivals in the future ever again. But if I do like to a concert, I want to stay far away from the stage. Make sure that, I'm in a kind of safe area where I'm not going to be compressed like I was. It wasn't a good feeling at all. Honestly, while being there and hearing all those people scream and, yelling for help, we just felt like Travis did not care for his fans. We felt that, like, he knew what was going on. Like, you can see it. He's up there. If I can see what's going on, all around us, he's on stage. He can see what's going on. And it's just devastating that people are dying and suffocating and they can't breathe and we're struggling. And he's up there, put your middle fingers up, rah, rah, rah. And it's like he can see. Like, there's a point that one of the guys said when the music kind of stopped and Travis stopped, singing, he said he had a slight hope. He had some hope that he was going to get help and it was going to, get better. But then when he heard Travis Scott said, put your middle fingers up, he said that's when he was about to give up. But we literally felt like Travis Scott did not give a damn about his fans at all. He did not. I did see a lot of the staff employees trying to help people. They did their best. They also did look tired. They were struggling to get into the crowd, and there was people all around trying to help the security staff perform CPR. But it was just so bad to get by. And another thing too is that a lot of the people who had their hands raised up on the air, they were so compressed that they could no longer put their hands down. So they just stayed up with their hands. They just stayed with their hands up in the air, and you can see people holding onto each other for a good while, just because it's so tight they could no longer put their hands down. So even the guys that were around us, they tried to protect my sister and I during the first wave that felt forceful, but it was not as bad as the second. And they were so nice. They spread their arms wide and they tried to push people away from my sister and I, but they just gave us that look like you gotta go, you gotta get out. And so that's when my sister and I said, like, out now, out or never, like, let's go, like, go. But my sister noticed that I was stuck and I started to look like I was sinking, like I couldn't move. Like, we were so compressed together that somebody's body was right behind me and my hair got stuck. So when I tried to call out for my sister, like, my neck literally just went like that and it was stuck. So I looked at my sister like, help, like, I need out now. And she did. She managed to somehow grab me and pull me out. And at that moment, I had some slight hope. That was the worst experience we've ever experienced at an event. Just being compressed so bad, like, I can't even describe it unless you're there, unless you experience being compressed with everybody in such tight force. Like, we're at the point where, like, you can feel people near your rib cage and you can't even gasp for, like, a good breath. So yes, that was our experience at Astroworld. When the second wave came by, we literally shifted. Like, you can see everybody moving together forcefully, not because I wanted to, you're just so compressed, like, you just move. But it was such a big wave that was like the wake up call, like, you got to get out now, like, you just have to. It was so forceful. I cannot even explain it. I never want to experience that ever again, and I don't want anybody to experience that. So it was so bad that you could lose your balance. And if you lost your balance, I think that's where you probably be done. Honestly, I know, like, for a fact that Travis could see all of his fans. You can hear people yelling, "Help! Help! Stop the show!" People were chanting, like, "Stop the show! Stop the show!" Um, there was loud screams, like, "Help! Help! Help us! Stop! Travis! Travis! Travis!" And I even told my sister, like, Travis knows what's going on, like, and he's not stopping. And even Drake's face, I saw Drake's face on the screen, and I've been to Drake concerts before plenty of times, and he just seems very off. I told my sister, like, Drake is off. Like, I can tell he notices something, like, something's off. I can see his face on the screen, and they just continue to go. Yeah, so that was the scariest thing that I've ever experienced. I never felt so close to death. Like, if I would have stayed, like, I knew that would have been it. So I could only imagine what others felt for the ones that did stay and couldn't get out. Yeah, that's the closest experience to death I've ever